All right, I'm on hole number 9 of the digital tournament. That's hole number 9 of the Milano Cup. I'm out of coffee. What the hell is the deal? I have no coffee in front of me. Do I have anything to drink? I don't have anything to drink. Hole number 9. Let's go check out hole number 9. Let's go back. Let's go check out hole number 9. See what it is first. All right, all right, all right. So this is one of the few handful of holes in the game that is a birdie hole with an eagle opportunity. And you can put yourself in a spot that you could get super lucky and make an albie. But to get to that spot, to make sure that you secure your eagle is still tough, but it's kind of safe. But you could press it and go for albie. But if you fail, you're in big trouble. And it is tough. And this hole has been completely redesigned from its original configuration. Its original, and I should say this side has been redesigned and a little bit down here, but like this island is the same and this area down here is the same. But this area over here, which was totally unplayable before, and we only played it this direction. Now we don't play it that direction at all. But if you get totally screwed down here and you played it over here, it could cost you, whereas you can lay it up here to the front and then you have options. You can bounce off the island, you can try and rough bump it. You do have some options if you can get all the way up to the front if you fail back here. Most people don't play over here anymore, and unless you played the game for a long time, you've probably never played from over there. But we're going to go straight forward, and you can get with a big enough ball, you can get over to the other side so that your first bounce is on this side, running forward, and you can get all the way up to this sand trap, which makes your second shot hands and so when you're up here in your second shot, and I think the number up here is like 400 yards, somewhere in that neighborhood, you want to be at this distance. And if you bring a big dog or a cataclysm, you can try and make the curve. And my preferred way to go at it is to do a rough bump, bleed out where I end up on that island, and then I have like a mid wedge to get into the cup. And you can't run it. If you run topspin, if you like to play a rapier, you cannot run it because the way it is down here is it's sand. It's sand. It goes up the hill and then it's on the green, and so the flagpole's pretty damn close. I'm not so sure that it's legally close. Dunner brought up a point the other day when we were talking on the phone about some of these newer greens. They put the flagpole so close to the edge that it can't be legal in real golf. But then I reminded him that one square is like 75,000 miles the way Golf Clash measures its distance. Like your ball can be right on the edge of the cup and you could be 3.2 feet away. Well, that's a yard. Like when it says 0.33 yards, I mean, that's a foot. I'm not a foot away. So big ball. Now, what you can do, I was saying you could get aggressive. What you can do is you can try and get on the green in two, where you get instead of rough bumping off of this, if you can get all the way up to the sand, you can come at it from this direction, where you can try and get a rough bump up here, or you can try and get a bounce off the island, and then your next bounce clip the rough, and then you bleed onto the green. And I've done that shot, and I've been successful at that shot, but I have epic failed more than I've been successful trying to get up there in one. So for me, if I can get right here, you're in really good short or wedge range. That's the goal. But I'm not sure we can get it done with a power 3 ball. Not against a headwind. So what we could do is bring out a power 4 ball, and not necessarily so much for the first shot, because this is one of those holes on the drive where with a power 3 ball you may be better off bringing unless you got an extra mile 9, you may be better off bringing a big topper. I think that our red line is that if we've got tailwind, you can actually ride it with the big topper. You can let the tailwind stay in, but I think this is also one of those areas that the tailwind, if you've got tailwind and or headwind, that if it says 2 miles an hour, it's basically going to push you forward. If you leave it in, it's going to push you forward. You would think, oh, well, just 2 miles an hour, that's one ring. It's going to push you forward 4 miles an hour. It's going to push you forward 2 rings. And the same thing about headwind. So like it's almost like on the drive we can do, like we can adjust out the little bit that we do for side wind, but like the wind itself is really going to hammer it when it's headwind. I may bring out a bigger ball just for the second shot, because I think even if I don't quite get enough distance on the drive, I think I can still get to the right spot. And it may be better. Let me make sure I have a big topper bag. Big topper Cataclysm. Extra mile Cataclysm. All right. I got 2 bags. One of those bags will work. If I have to pull back from the red line with my extra mile, I may be better off using my big topper. I can't remember how far we hit in this hole, but I do know that the drive is tricky. You don't want to be coming down into this drive using a bunch of overpower, because the wind, especially if you have tailwind. So with headwind, it might be, you can see they've got a 1 power ball, so I should be fine. I will not be able to make it over to the other side with a 4 power ball. I think if you come out here with a 2 power ball, you're relegating yourself to a very long shot at eagle. And you still have a ton of work to get done on that shot for eagle. This hole's dangerous on the way in. If you've never played this hole before, it's definitely a dangerous hole coming up to the cup. I can't make it over, so my number 3 bag will be better. .28. That should be about a ring and a half. And I pulled it, my arrow wasn't straight up there, but I pulled it at a slight angle to try and match it. Hit it 1 ring great to the right. As long as I can make this first bounce, I should get pretty good distance on the other side. See how close to 400 I got. 383, 400 I think is the magic number that we're looking for. It's ideal if you can get your first bounce onto this fairway pad. If you're having to come over from where my opponent's at and you've got second bounce on that fairway pad, then you want to try and bridge this gap so that you can end up right out here in front. If you're where my opponent's at, usually just hitting right there and just like play it safe. You got a pretty good angle from right there. No sense taking the shot to the cup from the rough. Doing the win ring method. Good job. Tea party. Pate. And in one-on-one play, how many of you have been in that spot right there with a marlin? Yep. Everybody raised their hands. You definitely got to take the drive shot with your extra mile. Okay, I'm right up against the red line. I'm going to put a little bit of curl on it to bring it back around. It's 1.8 per ring, so that leaves me 5. Put a little bit of curl to bring it around and a little bit of overpower to get past that. You know, 1 ring grade on the end to the left outside. Need a little bit more overpower, or a little bit, or I don't know that I ran all the topspin on it. I think I balanced it out. I ran a bunch of side spin, and what I needed there is all the topspin and however much side spin I can put on, and I'll do the rest of it with curl. Still have a great shot from right there, but that is, if you get on that pad, I'm gonna put myself on that pad because my opponent's not gonna make this shot. If maybe, maybe. We'll see if they can make it in. Let's hope that they make it in, but let's hope that they don't make it in. Because I almost have to go for it if they make it in. And I could qualify myself today in the hole. I don't want to make it in. Damn it. I don't know that I have enough. I do have enough to do a rough bump from right here. But boy, you'd have to get that wind good. If I hit it perfect, I will qualify today, and I can't do that. And my opponent got the Albie, so I don't get a free shot here. Dang it. I will let it time out. What a bummer. Out of time. I will not qualify today. Good. Sorry about that. What I'll have to do, okay. All right. I got it. I understand. Let's see if we can go. We can go in there and we can qualify. We can practice. I think I may have 1 practice token. I might just have 1 practice. I have 2. Look at that. Hole number 9. All right, here we go. And we'll play it one more time. We'll play it one more time because I'm sure that my opponent won't get Albie twice in a row. And if I don't make that island, I'll hit to the spot. I'm going to make the island. What the hell am I talking about? I'm going to get the Albie. I'm going to get the eagle. That was a good shot on my opponent's part. We've all been in that spot if you played this hole in one-on-one. That's the spot. No fuss, no muss. I'm going to pinch it down in there a half a ring. 3-3. There's 3-2. Puts me just a titch into power, about a half a ring into power. So I'm going to just rub the nubs. Hitting it perfect. It seemed like last time I had a little teeny bit more distance that I could get down there. Trying to get as close to 400 as possible. 378. I don't think that's as good as last time. I think last time it was 383. I learned my error from the first time. Set this shot up to do, I'm going to set the second shot up to do overpower regardless. Because it's way at the end of your run. So your tail, you have no control over your tail, or like how much it's bleeding out, or what kind of bounces you got up to that point. So having as much speed behind it as possible is better. Let's see what we can get done here. Maximum top spin and however much side spin I can get on. I'm going to put a dead center in the middle. 2 rings off. It's 1.8 per ring, so it's a little over a ring. Max curl, a little bit of overpower. Hitting it perfect. And see if I need to, if that max curl was too much, or if I need to, what I need to do is set that up. I was 2 rings of separation away from that transitional surface, and I need to be like 2.5, so that the tail of my curl is coming through a narrow spot. And so I came out on the edge over here where it lengthens out. So I'm going to run in the rough longer before I can clear it. But if I can move my shot to the right a little bit. So instead of being 2 rings, 2.5 max curl. It's hard to set shots up like that. Like you can do like half curl, but usually I find it's easier to set up shots where you either use no curl or you use max curl. That's not always the case, but this is the island right here that we're trying to get to. And anywhere up here will work. You're pretty much going to have the same shot from anywhere here. Now I think the deal from here is that I don't need to do I won't do the rough bump. I think I can just run it right to the cup. It's at mid club. And you start off up at the top instead of involving that hill. Not to say that you can't. The thing about the hill is that you can get a bad bounce on the hill and you can get a run across this green. Anybody who ever has been long on this green knows that it sucks. Where am I at in my club? So I'm about mid club. That's about a ring and a half. And it still went in. That close. Probably needed to do, I hit it great to the left. So I had overpulled it. So we might need to take a little bit off on the shot to the cup. Might need to take off like 5%. But you can go right at it if you're on that island. You can do the same shot with if you're up there on that island with Nirvana, you can do the same exact shot. There you have it. That was hole number 9. It's a tough hole. If you bring out, if the wind is blowing right and you brought out a par 5 ball, there is a window. And I'm pretty sure if there's any kind of forward moving wind, you will not catch that window. And I'm not so sure that you could do it with side wind, but maybe. But if there's any kind of forward moving wind, I'm pretty sure there's a window you can catch right here with the power 5 ball, and you can run yourself. You'd want to bring your, you may have to bring out an APOC to make the distance, and then you wouldn't get, unless you had an APOC 7 or a higher level APOC, you wouldn't get the forward distance with the topspin that you would get with your extra mile. But if you can get your extra mile over here, you can run yourself up into the stand, and it's a straight up shot. Instead of getting your bounce here, your first bounce is here, so you have a lot more control to get onto that island. Then you can really kind of go for the green. So if you're shooting for this shot and you want to go for the green, you can do it where you get a bounce over here, and then you're trying to bounce city, bounce city, bounce onto the green. But if you can get onto that little island, you got a tight little shot right there. Mid club. There you have it. Thanks for watching.